Welcome back, everybody. This is English TV Live, episode 27. My name is Lloyd, and I will be teaching you today about future forms in English. If you have not already, head over to EnglishTVLive.com and join the waitlist for our exclusive online community. So we're talking about future tenses in English, talking about the future in English. Now, this can be a little bit tricky, and there's a few different ways that you can talk about the future. So let me know in the comments if you know some ways to talk about the future. What is one way to talk about the future? See if you can make a sentence in the future. Any sentence about the future I'd like to see in the comment box below. So for example, I'm going to watch English TV Live every day, for example. Okay. Any sentences for anybody? No? Okay. Well, what about this one? This sentence. I will. Okay. I will go to England. Actually, that's my plan next week. Hopefully, I'm going to go to England. So I will. Now, I'm sure you know will. That's the first one we're going to look at today, will. So will is probably the most basic future tense form. Okay, will. We all know will. It's very, very basic. And probably when you study English, it's one of the first ones that you learn, right? I will go to the bathroom. I will meet my friends. I will study English. I will go to school. I will eat dinner. Things like that. So will is fine. Will, we have a sentence here from Noor. Using will, I will arrange my books. Very nice. Okay. So will is very basic. It is very simple and it is fine. You can use will. Most of the time, if you use will, it'll be okay. However, it is a little bit basic in English. There are some other ways, which we'll talk about today, when you talk about the future to make you sound a little bit more natural. So with will, however, the most natural ways that you can use will, let me just read some sentences here. So we have some sentences in the future from Piroz says, I will go to Paris, okay? Carrie says, I'm going to visit you someday. All right, sounds good. Supatra says, I will go to sleep. Go to sleep, remember? So will plus infinitive. Will plus infinitive. I will go to sleep. I will sleep. I will drink some water. That's a good idea. Okay, so will is, will plus infinitive. Now, by the way, if we use will in a sentence, in a conversation, how do we say this more naturally? I will blah, blah, blah. What do we do? How do we make it more natural? I will go to the shop, for example. I will go to sleep. What do we do? How do we make that sound more natural? I will ... I will. I will. Anybody? So what we do is we put I and will together. There we go. Helena is right. I'll. Okay? I'll. We'll. We will. We will. We'll. You will. You'll. He will. He'll. She will. She'll. When we speak in conversation, we usually say it like that. I'll. Okay? So we make it shorter. Makes it easy. If you say I will, it's okay. But to sound more natural, you should rather say I'll or you'll, etc. So I'll go to sleep early tonight. Well, not my story. I'll wake up early tomorrow. Probably not my story either. Tony says, I'll play soccer next week. Nadia says, I'll make a cup of tea. Good. Keep these sentences coming. Now, the most natural way to use will in a sentence is when you make a decision in the moment, okay? If you're talking about the future, the most common way to use will in a sentence, Judy says, I will attend your class on the weekend next week. Okay, sounds good. The most natural way is, so in the moment, you didn't have any time to think about this before, but in in the moment, you have to make a decision, and then you use will. So, for example, you are at a restaurant. Okay, you're at a restaurant, and you look at the menu, and the waiter says, "What do you want to have?" And you're just looking at the menu, hadn't really thought about it before, and you can say, "I'll have the chicken." Okay? In that situation, it's much more natural to use will. So if you say, I'm going to have the chicken, it's okay. But if you're making the decision in that moment, it is more natural to use will. Okay? In that moment. Let's say, for example, I want to test you. I'm going to test you here. Okay? So get ready to type. Let's say you and I, we go to the coffee shop. Okay? We go to the coffee shop. And I ask you, I say, hey, which coffee do you want? Which coffee do you want? So you're looking at the menu. You can see, let's see, cafe latte, espresso, Americano, what else? Caramel macchiato, different things like that. And I say, hey, what one do you want? You hadn't really thought about it before, but you're looking at the menu and you decide. How would you answer me? How would you answer me? I'd like to know, which coffee would you choose? Which coffee do you want? Rosalba says, I will love you forever. Oh, I'm not sure who you're talking to. Okay. Noah says, I'll take some hot chocolate. I'll take some hot chocolate. That's fine. I'd rather say have instead of take. I'll have. So you can say, I'll have some hot chocolate. Helena says, I'll have an espresso. Anybody else? Very, very good so far. Barbara says, I will coffee latte. I will, in this case, I'll take, you could say take as well, actually. I'll have a cafe latte. And Tony says, I'll get a cappuccino vanilla. Very nice. Zia says, I'll choose Americano. Olga says, I would prefer a latte macchiato. Okay, so just remember, in the moment, you didn't think about it before. You were offered in that moment. In that case, you could say will. Another time you would use will is if you're offering somebody something. So, for example, you see your friend, and your friend is holding a lot of boxes, for example, heavy boxes, and you offer, you don't have anything in your hands, and so you could say, I'll help you. I'll take the box for you. I'll take that. Something like that. I'll help you. I'll take the boxes. I will. I will. Because in that moment, you see something happening, right? In the moment, you hadn't really thought about it before. You didn't think yesterday, okay, tomorrow I'm going to see my friend. He's going to have a lot of boxes and I'm going to help him. It's in that moment. So you use will. So I hope everybody's clear about that. That is probably the most common way that you use will. Of course, you can use it in other ways as well. You can use it more generally. I will travel next week, etc. But in the moment, at that time, will is the best one to use. Okay, we have some more orders for coffee coming here. All right, the second one we're going to look at today when we're talking about the future is be plus going to, okay? Be plus going to plus infinitive, all right? Be plus going to plus infinitive. Can anybody make a sentence with this one? Be plus going to plus infinitive. Be plus going to plus infinitive. Can anybody make a sentence with this? I'd like to see a sentence in the comment box below. Be plus going to plus infinitive. I think maybe the comments are a little bit slow. Okay, let me give you one. I'm going to study hard tonight or every day. Judy says, I'm going to have a cup of coffee tomorrow morning. Helena says, I'm going to the cinema tonight. Very good, very good. So this is probably the most common way to talk about the future. Be plus going to plus infinitive. I'm going to travel to Europe. I'm going to meet my friend. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to eat a pizza. I'm going to study all night. I'm going to party all night. Whatever it happens to be. I'm going to travel to Italy next week, Monica says. Piroz says, I'm going to finish my exam. Rema says, I'm going to study Greek next September. Okay. Going to, be plus, so be, so for example, I am, you are, he is, she is, they are. Be, okay, so I am. Going to plus infinitive. I'm going to run. I'm going to exercise. And Elena says, I'm going to continue listening to English with Lloyd. Very nice. Or English TV Live. Both are good. This is the most common. Now, does anybody know? Again, remember when with will, we said I will. The shortened version was, the abbreviation was I'll, or you'll, or he'll. How would we make going to more natural? Does anybody know? I'm going to. Going to is fine, but usually, and I've seen some people in the comments already have said this, going to shortened is a little bit different. So we can shorten going to make it even more natural. Can anybody tell me, how do we make going to more natural in conversation? I'm going to, can you make it shorter? I'm going to. Can you make it shorter? Anybody? Going to. Going to. I'm going to. All right, very good. Ashik says, gonna. Gonna. Okay, going to. The shortened version of going to is gonna. So all of those sentences I said just now, right? I'm going to study very hard. I'm gonna study very hard. Hero says, I'm going to run. So you can say, I'm gonna run. Tony says, I'm gonna watch TV news tonight. All right. Any more example sentences with gonna? Anybody? Gonna. So this, again, now you wouldn't really write this. Maybe you would write this in a text message. But if you're talking to somebody, most of the time you would say gonna. Going to is too long. I'm going to, makes you sound a bit like a robot. So I'm gonna. I'm gonna. Can anybody else make a sentence with gonna? Raui says, I'm going to drink water. So you could say, I'm gonna drink water. Judy says, I'm going to have a cup of milk before I go to bed. So Judy, you could say, I'm gonna have a cup of milk before I go to bed. Deep says, I'm gonna learn English. Rosalba says, I'm gonna write. Remember, it's infinitive, not writing. I'm gonna write to you. So, one more time. Be plus gonna, or going to. Be plus gonna plus infinitive. I'm gonna talk to my friend. I'm gonna phone my friend. I'm gonna send my friend a message. Helena says, I'm gonna buy... Okay, so I can see people are getting confused. I can see people are getting confused. This is very important. It's not gonna to. It's not gonna to. I've seen a lot of people saying that. I'm gonna to sleep. You replace going to with gonna. You replace going to with gonna. So it's not I'm gonna to, okay? You remove the to. So going to changes into gonna. So for example, I'm going to sleep. Changes to I'm gonna sleep. I'm going to exercise. Changes to I'm gonna exercise. Does that make sense, everybody? So you don't remove the to. When you say gonna, you don't say to. Again, Stra says, I'm gonna to read a book. No to, okay? Majo says, I'm gonna gym. Maybe you say rather, I'm gonna exercise, okay? Rema says, I'm gonna listen to you very carefully. Very good. I'm gonna, infinitive. Heba says, I'm gonna travel. All right. So, when do we use going to or gonna? We use going to for a very strong intention, okay? This is something you really are planning to do. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go there. You are you're really determined to do something. Somebody says here, I'm gonna sleep after you finish your live. Okay, good night. After my live video. Very strong intention. Very, very strong. However, there is one more which I'm going to teach you today. If you have a strong intention, there's a possibility that you won't do the thing you're going to do. Let's say, for example, I'm going to exercise tonight. I'm going to exercise tonight. I'm going to share this video. Very nice. I'm going to exercise tonight. It's your intention. You have set your heart on it. You've decided, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to exercise. But, maybe your plan could change. Maybe you something else could happen. Something else could happen. Maybe you change your mind, or maybe your friend invites you to an event or something, or you have a meeting. The reason is it was not fixed. It was your intention, but it wasn't a fixed appointment. Now, if you have a fixed arrangement, you have a fixed time that you're going to do something, we use the present continuous. If you have made an arrangement, you're going to start something at this time, you're going to meet somebody at this time, you're going to watch the movie at this time, we use the present continuous. If you have a fixed arrangement, you have a ticket, you've made all the plans, you know exactly what time or what day you're going to do something, then you use the present continuous. For example, maybe you have a meeting at the office and you could say, I'm meeting my boss at 2 p.m. I'm meeting my boss at 2 p.m. I'm playing tennis tomorrow afternoon. You've already booked the court. Okay, you've made the plans with your friends. They are getting married. Okay, to get married. To get married is the original verb. They are getting married next week. They have. It's not something they want to do. It's something they're definitely doing. They've booked the church. They've arranged everything. I mean, a wedding, right? A wedding takes a lot of arrangements and planning. So they are getting married next weekend, for example. Present continuous is for fixed arrangements. So have a go in the comment box below. See if you can make some sentences about fixed arrangements using the present continuous. Olivia says, I'm attending your class tomorrow. Okay, very good. I will see you then. Elena says, I'm getting married in the morning. My Fair Lady. Okay, is that must be a song from My Fair Lady, I guess. But just remember as well, just one thing as well. These rules are flexible. I think Jacob in the last week, he said that English is very flexible. It's true. You can use going to for these things. You can use will. You can say they're going to get married next weekend. They will get married next weekend. I will meet my boss at 2 p.m. I'm going to meet my boss at 2 p.m. It's okay. But if you really want to be specific and show that this is a fixed arrangement, then you use the present continuous. So just remember that. Don't think, okay, I have to use these rules all the time. It's just a general thing that you should remember. Natalia says, I'm working tomorrow morning. Okay, good one. Good one. Let's see what else we have here. Kavitha says, I'm going to meet my friend this evening. Not at this evening, this evening. Or if you have a definite plan, you could say, I'm meeting my friend this evening. Okay? Maybe your intention, I'm going to meet my friend. It's a strong intention. But if you've already planned, you say, we're going to meet at 7 p.m. in front of this shopping mall. I'm meeting my friend this evening. Helena says, I'm traveling to the UK in a couple of days. Olga says, I'm arriving at 5 o'clock. Very good. So, just to review that we looked at 3 future tense forms today. The first one was will. Okay, so will, as I said, is probably most commonly used when you make a future decision in the moment, right now. Okay? I'll open the door for you. I'll have the coffee if you're looking at the menu. I'll do that. I'll do this. I'll do that. You're deciding in the moment. The second one was going to. Going to is for a strong intention. One more thing for going to that I forgot to mention is going to can also be used for a strong prediction. So if you think that something is going to happen, let's say, for example, a classic example is you look at the sky, okay? And it looks very black and dark, and you could say, I think it's going to rain. You're very, very sure it's definite, it's 99% chance. You think it's going to rain. You wouldn't use the present continuous in this case, right? that's only for your own actions. But if you can see something is going to happen, you can say it like that. It's going to rain. It's a very strong prediction based on what you can see. All right, and the last one we looked at today was present continuous, or as Reben says, present progressive. Present continuous is for definite fixed plans. I'm meeting my friend at 3 o'clock. I'm starting the lesson on English TV Live at 3:30 p.m. GMT every day. And Tony says, I'm leaving now. I have to do my laundry. Okay. Very good, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was useful. Please keep practicing these future forms that we discussed today. And also, if you're watching this in the replay, I'd love to see your example sentences in the comment box below. So unless anybody else has any comments, I'm going to wrap it up and call it a day. Going to move over now into the private group. On English TV Live, we have a private community. It's not open to the public yet. It will be very soon. So if you would like to join the waitlist for English TV Live, head over to EnglishTVLive.com and we will keep you updated about the launch, which is going to be very soon. And then you can join our private community. So I'm going to go over to the private group now. If you are a member of the private group, head over there and I will be there in about 5 minutes or so. And we will continue talking about the future in English. But thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday, whether it's the morning, afternoon, or evening. And I'll talk to you later.